There you go. Okay. Word. Alright guys, so Peter's going to give a lecture. Alright. Yeah. Yeah, I'll slide to everybody. It's okay, I can yell at everybody. Nobody can. So basically the reason why I wanted to put this together was
You guys, come on.
I kind of wanted to throw this together following the CTO panel we had a few weeks back. Actually, and Jared, you kind of inspired me with some of your questions regarding just recruiting, and it kind of like made me wonder like if this isn't common knowledge and just kind of the aspect of a recruiter, what they're looking for, ways to talk to them, ways to find them, and kind of ways to find who the right person is to talk to if you're looking for a job. So, how do I make this go over? Oh, snaps. Uh-oh, the same browser. What? That's weird. No, here. No, you're doing good. That's it. Okay, cool. So yeah, I just want to talk about LinkedIn because LinkedIn is a huge tool that most recruiters will use. If you're wanting or to be kind of professionally out-facing, got to have a LinkedIn. Keep it updated. It's basically a resume that people can check on. It's kind of like your Facebook and your resume. Shows a little bit of your personality and your work history. So you can change the very last part of your LinkedIn to whatever you want to, customly made it. So I changed mine just to what my Gmail account is. Try to have kind of everything synchronized across all your platforms. Oh crap! Go back. How do I? Yeah, it's it definitely is kind of like professional Tinder. So when I was working at Google, my recruiting team was actually all women, and probably once a day, they'd get a message from some software engineer, just, "Hey, I saw your picture, looking pretty good." So people do try to flirt on LinkedIn. Don't do that. That'll immediately disqualify you from anything you're actually trying to get out of that. And why I say it's professional Tinder is, well, I got subsequent slides, but you never start off the first date with your end goal. Like, you don't reach out to somebody saying, "Can I get a job?" Like, "Can you hire me? Can you recommend me?" You have to build a relationship. You have to foster a relationship. They don't know who the hell you are. You may have an entry point, but we'll get to that here in a sec. So I just wanted to pull up my LinkedIn real quick. So funny story, I actually got my last job as a social media manager because of this picture right here in the background. The CEO at the company I was applying for had immigrated from Germany, and this is the stadium from his hometown. So when I applied via LinkedIn, I stood up there for a week. I kind of like the picture anyways. I ended up getting a call within a week. Just little tricks you can do. Kind of, not to say brown nose or kiss up, but you can find little entry points and ways to talk to that. And I know every player on that team too, so I'm a big soccer fan. But Dortmund? Yeah, they're all right. Bayern's a little better, but so just to kind of go through my LinkedIn real quick. I mean, I try to have data about all my last positions. I don't have anything here, so that's kind of a red flag. And as you can see, I haven't been working there since March because of said class. Something that's really going to help us all out, and I really recommend doing it, is down here, these skills and recommendations. I will gladly write a recommendation for anybody in this class. I mean, I've seen you guys all present, seen all your guys work and where we've started till now. I suggest that you guys do for the rest of your teams. Having recommendations, professional recommendations on your LinkedIn just looks so much cleaner, so much nicer, and that you're experienced in the professional development world. Also, these skills down here, this is going to be a lot more important than it looks. I just added these down here: HTML, CSS, Node. Got no likes, so if anybody help me out there.
You add these?
Yes, so you can add these. I can't see. I'm just in my profile view section right now. But when you go into the edit section, you can add like your individual skills, and it will pop up on everybody else's LinkedIn. Do you want to endorse this person for said skill? I've seen everything from Microsoft Office to Nordic speed walking. That was kind of a joke. Was endorsing like people for ridiculous skills. So, but when a recruiter does look for people on LinkedIn, they're going to be typing in like a Boolean search for true. Must have HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery. If they're looking for something specific, Meteor, just random skill sets, and the more you have of those, the better it looks. And how do I get back to my slides? Dun, 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 dun. All right, voila. Okay, so this is kind of funny. A couple weeks ago, we were making jokes in this class. My nickname is Fitch, and Brian asked a question, and then the fake name we made was Brian Fitch. So I was just sitting here doing nothing. Looked him up on LinkedIn. Turns out he had social media marketing experience, and his current title was a creative director. So I just added him. I want to be a creative director one day and work for like a creative ad agency, be able to create cool campaigns. And that's exactly what this guy did. So I just added him. Don't know him, had no connections. Sent him a quick message, hey, saw you're a creative director. I'd love to have that role one day. Thought it made sense to connect. That's it. Day later, connected with me. And then I get access to all of his network, which happens to include a bunch of creative directors as well. So I can see where they're past, where they came from. The recommendation that I got when I was first starting out in recruiting was find the job that you ultimately want to get. Like, where's your end goal? Find people who have done that. Look at their past. Compare their past. Which one do you want to go for? How do you want to get there? So actually, this guy had a really close path to like what I would like to follow. So yeah, just connect them that way and just say, I admire or aspire to be what you are right now. Kind of pump up a little bit. They love it. So finding who to talk to. So I just went on Indeed, and I think I typed in like junior web developer. This is actually a couple weeks old. And I came across this junior UI UX designer position here in LA. And actually the requirements, we pretty much all fit the bill. It does say 2 to 3 years of like design experience. 2 to 3 years experience, half a year of experience, it kind of blends together. If you have a little bit of UI experience, like that's enough to still get your foot in the door. I got my foot in this door a little bit just because I had UI UX design evaluation experience. I don't actually make it myself, but I've experienced it, so that's close enough. So the real fun thing is finding who to talk to about this, because anybody can just go down here and submit, apply now. You hit apply now, your resume goes into a stack of a couple hundred that people have also easily applied. So how do you stand out from that? You find who the right person is to talk to. So back to LinkedIn. So I did a search for this company, CarTrack, I believe, and then started kind of going through each of these people to see who would be the correct person to talk to. There's a collection of like talent acquisition managers, UI UX consultants. I thought I found the right person to talk to initially. His position was working as a UI UX. He was a contractor with CarTrack, so somebody who would be working on this exact style of position would know who the manager is, except he was on a short-term contract and was actually let go 2 weeks before I'd looked this up. So he would not be the right person to talk to and would probably not be responsive. But talent acquisition managers or recruiters, based on how small or large the company is, are kind of the right people to go after. This has actually changed a bit since I last saw it, and I'm kind of blind. Like right here. So relationship manager is basically another word for recruiter. That's what my first title was when I went to move to New York. I thought I was going to be hanging out with people and managing some cool relationships. I was on the phone about 12 hours a day calling people off of every job board you could find. So they do manage relationships because sometimes jobs will open up later down the road that you weren't ready for at the moment, but might be for at a subsequent date. So someone like this, I would absolutely reach out to, just say, hey, I saw this job posting, thought I was a great fit. Are you the right person to talk to about this? If so, can I talk to you in more detail? Quick little message. Even if they don't respond to it right away, at least they saw it. It's in the back of their mind. They come across your resume, it's in their mind. Like, oh, hey, this name looks familiar. Mario. Where did I know this name from? Oh, he shot me a message yesterday. And that will give you just a little bit of an advantage over somebody else who just sent in a resume.
Yeah, a couple questions.
Oh. I'm wearing computer glasses right now, so anything farther than this is a little blurry. My bad. But Jared, go ahead.
So you would, in that scenario, you would apply using the apply button, but also message the list?
Yes.
Or would you just message
I would start actually with the message before applying. I would still probably shoot it over within the same day anyways. Sometimes if you want to reach out to somebody who may be in charge of the role or maybe is like a friend and not the recruiter who could get a referral credit, then it's better to reach out to an individual. It's like if you have a friend at at this company and you say, hey, I just applied. And it's like, well, I can't get a referral credit for that anymore, so I'm not really incentivized to fight for you. Although if you reach out to him before you apply, there's a good chance he can take your resume and pass it to somebody else. He could be incentivized because he can get a referral credit, which a lot of companies, will pay thousands of dollars for. Even hired.com, if I was to pass along the email to somebody else and they were to get hired off of one of those jobs, like I think Hired was going to offer us like $3,400. So there's a big kickback for referrals.
Yeah, so then by that same token, would you try to connect with the people that you would potentially be working with, like the team members, for the developer, or at car or whatever?
Yes.
Just try to connect with those developers.
Yeah, and I would message them, but depending on again how small or big the company is, if it's very small, if it's a 9-person operation, they've got 3 software engineers. Yes, reach out to them. No big deal. They should be able to get back with you. And if they don't, maybe they're just following protocol or passing off to a recruiter. But yeah, yeah. Me personally, I talk to everybody I can. Although if you start reaching out to too many people, you don't also want to kick a gift horse in the mouth and it kind of annoy somebody with relentless messaging. Again, think back to dating. You don't want to ruin the rest of your dates off with the first one.
I have a question about what about those who are have shyer personalities? So you seem to be more of a extrovert, go out talk to people kind of thing.
Yeah. So again, I talk to everybody. Although secretly I'm kind of like an extroverted introvert. Like I really like kind of hanging out by myself, going home playing video games, and not talking to any of you guys. But at the same time, I like occasionally having exposure and talking to everybody. So people who may not be interested in a lot of social activities, a lot of social engagement. I'm trying to think what would I not do? No, look for commonality. Find a position that you really, really want to go for, as opposed to just sending your resume to everything under the sun that you would not really care for. Like last Tuesday when we had our networking meetup, I stayed at home and just did online research, found about 6 or 7 roles that I really, really wanted, wrote 2 to 3 different cover letters, tried to change it and really specify what I wanted and why I was so interested, and just doing it all on paper, not having to talk to anybody, not having any back and forth messaging, but really making a passionate argument as to why I think this role is not only a good fit for me, but why I could be a good fit for the company. Try to make yourself, I say, invaluable, but this is the role for me. Even if you're kind of reclusive, just state the reasons why you'd be a perfect fit.
So would you would do this all in you essentially send a cover letter?
Not via LinkedIn, just in the actual application process. Make something that stands out. Don't do your standard cover letter, but that's an opportunity to really kind of brag about yourself and state the exact reasons why you think you'd be a perfect fit for it. And you can go to one step further than that. You can even look at some of these people's profiles, and like how I found that my last CEO was from Germany. Include something that they maybe be interested in your letter or even in your resume. I've applied to places and put that I own a corgi, just because they worked with animal shelters, so they're most likely animal people. So there's just little additions you can tweak here or there to tailor your resume for that specific role. I'm not saying you have to write a new cover letter, make a new resume for every single position you apply for, but make each one semi-unique. I probably don't send the same exact resume out to more than 2 or 3 different positions. Yeah.
So how do you tweak your resume? Where do you tweak it? Obviously the skills and everything you keep pretty much the same, right? Your certificates, your education, those are the same.
Mm-hmm.
But where do you change maybe your objective or your how your resume is structured?
Yeah.
How do you customize it to
So I do a few different things. First, I have a decent summary on just the start of it, which states, who I am, what I like, and what industry I'm trying to break into. So that number one, you don't want to have like, I want to break into the entertainment industry, and you're applying at a financial company. I have definitely done that. I have definitely left wrong things on my resume, and they never called me, of course. But besides tweaking, the major summary, even kind of rewording like what you actually did, or making it seem that I'm not saying ever lie in a resume, never ever lie in a resume. But if you have different things that were pertinent in your last job that would be more important to this new job, maybe if it wasn't even your primary focus, highlight that. Yeah. I've gone through and kind of axed a whole bunch of different summaries and descriptions about what I've done previously, and now I've got maybe 1, 2, or 3 different lines for past jobs. And originally I had 5 or 6, which I can kind of interchange if the position is something different. If it says it's a little more salesy heavy, then I can put some of my sales stats from past jobs. If it's more creative and kind of more free-flowy, then I talk about my UX UI design and visual design portfolio evaluation. But yeah, just kind of make it seem more apropos for the position you're going for.
This is a really good point. So like a lot of us have a lot of different skill sets coming from before you guys applying to the coding bootcamp. Integrate those skills into the jobs you're applying for. Like when I was applying to coding jobs when I was first starting, I didn't just put like poli-sci, I put like mostly like my research analytical skills. And so I put in like, I did like mixed methods research. I didn't just put in like poli-sci, I read wrote papers or like did biochem. Like I would downplay like the biochem part and upplay like the research and analytical part. So like you guys come from a lot of different backgrounds. Like like some of you engineering, some of you design, some of you guys business, things like that. Something that can be applied in your experience or the projects that you've made to apply to those companies and highlight, like Peter mentioned, can be really valuable for getting into that company.
Definitely. And I'm just going on to my LinkedIn right here because I actually do have LinkedIn Premium, which I think is actually. Oh yeah, so when I mentioned LinkedIn Premium, it's $29 a month. I've had it for the last 2 months, which no, $60 down the drain. But no, it's really good for when you want to go all in on finding a job. And just for the sake that it will let you have access to people you wouldn't necessarily have access to normally. You have to actually have like either a second or third degree connection. So like if I want to connect to Jared and we're not friends or have any connection at all, but I'm friends with Mario and Mario's friends with Jared, then I can still get to Jared that way. If you have a premium account, I don't need Mario, I can just go straight to Jared. Go straight to the point. The other cool thing that it does is also tell you yeah, exactly. Let's see here. If I can hit jobs. What am I hitting at here? Let's see if it will tell me. Yeah, so like assistant project manager. And here's what's really cool about LinkedIn Premium is it'll tell you what the job's paying, how many people have applied, your relative rank against those people who have applied. So there's occasionally times I'm like, oh, this position looks so cool, and I click on it, I'm like, oh crap, they've got 600 applicants and 300 of them have master's degrees. I'm probably not going to write a brand new cover letter for that position. Not to say that I don't have a chance at it, but again, if it's a little bit of a pipe dream, think more realistic.
This is for LinkedIn jobs?
Correct. Yes. So the benefits of LinkedIn Premium would be applying for LinkedIn jobs shows you all the other candidates kind of in your general range, and you have access to other people. I recommend it mostly for the access to other people. Also, everyone here should definitely add me. As a recruiter, I've been adding I think I have like 1,000 connections on this thing. Most of them are recruiters actually, just because recruiters like to add other recruiters. And if you have access to every recruiter, then they have access to you. And all right, wrap this up pretty soon here. Oh yeah, so kind of the whole point: create your own luck. I mean, don't straight up stalk people, but give yourself a competitive advantage. Because if you don't, then I will. I mean, I'll go as far as if I find out, I'm interviewing with somebody, I want to know about the company from a website, deep level, skill set or knowledge set, but I also want to know about the person I'm interviewing with. You know, what their background is, where are they from? You know, are they a family man? Are they a sports person? Are they a party guy? Like, people hire people. People want to hire someone that they can work with and have fun with and hang out with and get stuff done with. So if you're professional and happen to be, you know, have similar interests, like, yeah, I want you around more. I want to hang out with you more. I want you to get work done with me more. So that's what I mean about trying to get everything done in a single date. Rome wasn't built in a day, and if they try to fill this position in a single day, I'd probably run. I've had several job opportunities where they've offered me directly after the interview within, I mean, phone screen, interview same day, offer same day. Those are a little frightening. So just as a heads up for that. Sometimes they're great. I mean, there could be a diamond in the rough, but just be careful of those. Oh yeah. So just to kind of summarize, it is like a professional date. I don't think any of us have had a second date when we had nothing in common with the first one. So yeah, our work experience can speak for itself, but really at the end, people do hire people they want to work with. So be friendly, be nice. So yeah, and then as I stated initially, work hard, obviously. Support everybody here, build everybody up. And that's literally how a recruiter will search for people in LinkedIn. They will, you know, must include these, enter. And then occasionally must have this job title, enter. Must be within this location, enter. True, true, true. Okay, here's my list of people. And then they'll just keep scrolling through, and they'll scroll through for anything for, you know, how your picture looks, you know, because they can't actually come out and say it, but they want to make sure you're a culture fit. Recruiters definitely do illegal stuff they're not supposed to, looking for specific races, areas of, you know, levels of income and seniority. They're not supposed to do it, but all companies do it because, yeah, they do. All companies, but.
Were you in the actual work environment you were recruiting for, or how?
So, well, I first started doing like open source recruiting in New York. And that was just like a team of 5 where we just called basically every software engineer in New York who had, you know, something similar to a software engineering, you know, I guess resume. When I was with Google, we were the UI UX specific recruiting team where we'd have not like one specific division we were working for. We'd cover everything from like maps to search to.
You were in contact with the teams that you were hiring.
Yes, correct. Actually, I work closest with Google Play. So that was kind of fun. Basically, I would find other people who've done stuff similar to Google Play, like App Store or any kind of, you know, e-commerce based platforms, and go after those people. But yeah, you know, we get a few one-offs. The funnest one being the doodler role, the person who makes the background images. That was really fun. But yeah, we would just focus on user experience, visual design, and user experience researcher. We're like the 3 different roles, but for every single team in the company.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah. And cuts.
That was very informative. So make sure, can you slide out all the slides?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Actually, my computer's dead, but.
Oh, okay. All right. So Marissa.
Yes.
Let's meet.
After the program, do we have like some kind of event or anything?
Yeah, demo day.
No, like outside of class, because Joanna and I were thinking about like throwing some kind of like just our networking event.
Oh yeah. You guys can throw something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I'll slack it out and everything too.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that'd be cool.